أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من شر الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين المنتجبين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم كتابه: أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من شر الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. آمنا بالله، صدق الله العلي العظيم. الصلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We mentioned that we are going to talk about appraising the kids, how to appraise the kids on the path of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam, on the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. How can we create this generation, the generation who could support the 12th Imam, ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. The whole idea is to focus on bringing this pious generation into the community. Now, many times people, they come to us and they say, Sheikh, we have our sons and daughters, they are deviated and this and that. So the first question I ask them, that, like for example, a guy came to me and he asked me, Sheikh, my son is dealing with drugs and now he's 18 and this and that and all this kind of situation. He's dealing with drugs and I want you to help me. So I said, let me ask you a question. When he was a child, did you tell him not to deal with drugs? What kind of attention you gave him? This was my question. He said that, well, you know, this West and the kids, they are involved too much in activities like games and this and that. I didn't have opportunity. I'm a businessman. I have a lot of work to do. The issue here is, I told him that this thing, the reason he's in this drug, it's a consequences of the negligence of the parents. I was blunt. The parents, if they are neglecting their responsibilities towards their children, and they find out that their child has been corrupted, here they realize, oh, we need to go to the Maulana or Sheikh or Masjid or Sayyid so that they can help us out. There's no problem, they can help you out. But the whole issue is that it may be too late at this moment. It may be too late. Why? Because the child has reached a setup, spiritual setup, psychological setup, emotional setup, mental setup, in a way that not much can be done. Not much can be done. Only guidance can be done. The way we can solve this problem is to guide the child, guide the son, proper guidance. Inshallah, it helps. Inshallah, the son will listen to the guidance of the Maulana or the Sheikh or the Imam or the Sayyid or whoever. He might listen, but the chances are less that he might implement. But when he was child, you had an opportunity. You had an opportunity to appraise him properly. Now it might be too late. The resemblance they give in this situation is, you see the plant, when the plant is growing, it's soft. You can move it, you can twist it. If the plant is growing like this, you can make it straight. It's soft. It's bendable. The twig when it comes out. But if the plant grows, and while it's growing, the twig went in a direction, not straight, in a direction, started to incline towards a direction, and now it became a tree. Now the tree is like this, banana-shaped tree. Now you want to correct it. It's not easy. It's difficult. It's stiff. The trunk is so thick, you cannot bring it back. It's too difficult to bring it back. So what will we do? We cannot do that much. The child is same like this. The child, when the child is small, young, you can easily direct him the way you want. You can easily mold him the way you want. But now the child took a direction, and now he's like that trunk which is so thick. It will be very difficult to change that child and bring it back straight. You may be lucky. There are situations where the children, they become straight, and alhamdulillah. But those chances are very rare. Those are very rare cases. In most cases, it's difficult to bring back that child back on track and make him straight. So one of the mothers, she came to me, Sheikh, my son has moved with this girlfriend. Okay. I asked her this question: your son, when he was a child, what were you doing that time? Did you take care of him? Did you teach him? Did you do the necessary responsibilities which are required in order to keep the child in a proper direction? Sheikh, I mean, I'm busy, single mother, this, that, I have my responsibilities, I have my duties, I have to take care of a lot of issues. I asked her a question: when your son was a child, did you put him into the hands of a nanny? A nanny who takes care of the children, babysitter, nanny, whatever you call. She said, yes, I had to. Well, that's it. The nanny gave your child more love than you. The nanny gave your child more attention than yours. So now what's happening? The child is looking for a nanny. He's not looking for you. The child is looking for a nanny, and now he's found a big nanny. The nanny who loves him, the nanny who takes care of him, the nanny, now this type of nanny, she's going to fulfill his desires also. This is the nanny. Why? Because he got used to a foreign person giving him love, giving him passion, taking care of him, taking care of his needs, desires. Now he has different types of needs. Now he's looking for a different type of nanny, a girlfriend type of nanny, who could fulfill his desires and give him passion and everything. This is the problem. This is the problem we are having with these babysitters, with these nannies. Oh, we want to go to the party, we want to go here, we want to go there. You hire a babysitter. The babysitter, even the babysitter, let's say, okay, it's necessary, it's important. We need to be selective in babysitters. I'll give you another example. One of the families, they hired a babysitter who was a corrupted girl. When she comes and she takes care of the child, she's talking with the boyfriend, they're talking bad, filthy words. Bad, filthy, immoral words she's talking on the phone in front of the child. The child is learning. The child is like maybe 8 or 9 years old. He's learning everything. All the filthy issues are happening from this babysitter with her boyfriend. The child is learning. He's getting what kind of message we are giving the child. So the problem is, if you are really obligated to put a babysitter, if you are really obligated to put a nanny, then be selective. Find a mu'minah, find a believer, find a nice pious woman, find a woman who wears hijab, or if it's a boy, find a guy who's a pious person who's in masjid. Try to be selective. Why? Because this nanny is affecting or infecting. If the nanny or a babysitter is a good person, male or female, male for male, female for female, then it will affect the child. And if the nanny or a babysitter is a bad person, it's going to affect the child as well. And I can say infect the child, cause an infection. All the filthy disease, the immoral disease, the immoral acts, immoral attitudes is going to be transmitted to the child. So we need to be careful. Oh, what happened? This mother, she tells me, no, I had to go. What was the important? I had to go. It was important for me to go. And that's why I didn't find anybody other than this nanny. Okay. Now you have a situation. The funny thing is, I asked her what was important. No, it's the community party. You know, the women, they have made a party. I have to be there. Otherwise they'll say, what kind of woman you are? You are stingy, miser. I told her, you took care of what people think about you. You did not take care of what your child, what is your responsibility. Your responsibility is not what people think about you. Your responsibility is your child. If your child will go into gutter, will learn immoral activities because that immoral babysitter you got, then don't blame unless yourself. Why? Because you were able to stop that party. You were able to prevent yourself from going to that party. But this kind of situation where you kept your child in the hand of an immoral babysitter, immoral nanny, that's the dangerous thing. That's you planted bad immoral activities in your. The seed of immoral activities was planted inside your child by this lady or by this man or foreign person who comes out and poisons the mind of the children. So we need to understand this issue. It's a very serious issue. Babysitter, nanny, because in Western communities this goes a lot. And many times we invite nannies who are even not Muslims. I'm not saying that non-Muslims are bad. No. But when she comes, she's not a Muslim. When the time of Salah comes, or when on Sunday she will go and do the worship of cross and all those kind of things, the things which are related to Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism or any kind of religion. We respect every peaceful human being, but this is not an issue. This is an issue. If I want to teach my child, I need to be careful who's going to come and teach my child. If I want to put my child into the care of someone, I need to be careful. So be careful about who's going to come and take care of my child. In Persian Gulf, in Middle East, what happens? They bring these women who are non-Muslim, and they work in the house, and the child, and the mother is so busy in her meetings, in her activities, in this and that, and the father is earning bread and butter for the children. So what happens here? The child is in the hand of khaddama. They call it khaddama, the maid or the house servant. This lady, she stays in the house. The food she eats with the family. She drinks with the family. She lives with them. She sleeps in a room they give her. So this is basically, this lady becomes part of the family. So when the household is outside, what happens? The child needs somebody to take care of him. And here is the khaddama, the servant. And the servant has certain ways, certain activities, certain lifestyle. And the child is learning wrong things from this immoral thing. In many cases, these immoral women, when they come inside the house, or immoral men, when they come inside the house, they commit immoral activities with the children. It happened a lot. I know a family. They brought a driver, and the driver is same like this khaddama. The driver stays in the house in a quarter outside, but what happened? He drops the daughter of this person brings her back from the school, and they went, instead of school, somewhere else. They did wrong things, haram things, and nobody knows about them. Father says, oh, my loyal driver is taking my daughter where? To the school. He doesn't know what's happening. We know because we are told. The youth, they tell us the miseries and problems which are happening in the communities. And this is what happens, the negligence. Why do you keep your daughter, your precious daughter, which you have taken care of her, this trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your hand? Why do you keep her in the hand of foreign men? Driver, boyfriend, this, that. This is wrong. This is not accepted in Islam. A Muslim, the community becomes corrupted because of all these activities. So the problem is that, one more thing I remember. One lady comes, Sheikh, I want you to teach my daughter how to wear hijab, proper hijab. And I looked at this sister and I said, sister, I mean, if you start wearing hijab, she will automatically wear hijab. The parents are role model. The kids, they look up to the parents. They look up to the parents. The parents are role model. So, if the parents are role model, the kids are looking up to them, then the parents need to implement first, and then the kids, they will automatically. I told this mother, what will I do? You have brought your daughter to me. Well, I'll tell her, my daughter, hijab is dignity, hijab is good, hijab brings respect to the Muslim woman, and this and that, and then she comes home, and either she will say, my mother is disrespectful because she's not wearing hijab, she's not a good woman, she's corrupted woman, or she'll say, no, this Maulana is a liar because my mother is a nice woman, she doesn't wear hijab, so why should I wear hijab? Why should I wear hijab? Means scarf. Why should I wear a scarf? See, what kind of wrong messages we are giving to our children. We want them to observe the religious activities, duties and responsibilities, and then we go and violate those responsibilities. It's like that guy who tells the son, don't smoke, and then he smokes. Okay, what kind of message you are giving? You are telling him to smoke by your actions. Son, don't worry. When you are a father, you smoke, and your child tell him don't smoke. We are teaching them how to become hypocrites. This is an issue here. So the problem is when people, they bring their children to us, we don't have this magical wand. Alakazam, alakazum, boom, and they become saint, like they have this halo in the head, like as they do in the cartoon, this devil, and so the devil is trying to whisper, and we have this wand, alakazam, alakazum, boom, and you are there, and it's not like that. The devil does not go away and then the halo or the saint mark comes inside and the child becomes so nice. And we don't have that kind of thing. All what we do is give guidance. More than that, we cannot do anything. We can only guide them, teach them. They need to have some homework. The homework is inside the home. And who gives them the homework? The parent gives them the homework. The parents, it is their responsibility. They are the one, they are doing the homework with them. How? By implementing, practicing proper Islam, proper piety. By that, my Maulana told me this. My Sheikh told me this. And my father is observing the same thing. So we are giving the child strong message. How can we expect to teach the children and we by ourselves are not role models? That's not accepted. So basically what we are trying to study here, that what we are trying to discuss here is how can we appraise our children properly to carry the torch of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam, to carry the message of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam, and pass it to generations after generations and hand it over into the hand of the 12th Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, and become supporters of the 12th Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. That is our own task. So in order to have proper generation, we cannot start from the half of the way. It might help, it might not. But if we really want to do proper work, we have to start from the foundation. Start from the foundation, building the foundation. If you want to have a strong building, what will you do? You will build on weak foundation, and then you will start making it nice, strong structure. This is not going to help. This is going to collapse. It's all going to fall apart on you. Why? Because if the foundation is weak, all this building, the structure, is going to collapse, no matter how strong it is. Why? The foundation is weak. So Islam, when Islam teaches us how to take care of the children, upraise the children, it does not tell us, when your child is 15 years old, do this. No, no, no. It does not tell us, when your child is 7 years old, do this. No, no, no. When your child is 1 year, no. When your child is born, teach them. No. Islam tells us from before that, upraising the children, making proper generation, does not start from the birth. It starts from before the birth. It starts from pre-birth, like selection of the spouse, the time of pregnancy, feeding the child. Well, inshallah, we're going to talk about these things. I'm just going to index now. Number one, selection of the spouse, the marriage itself. It has a big effect in creating pious generation. Number one. Number two, the time of pregnancy. That's an important time where certain activities, if you do, it affects the child. And then we have the child, when the child is born, how Islam teaches us to gradually teach the child one after another, stage after stage, the Islamic education and the spiritual connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the strong bond between the parents, which is a channel, as we are going to talk inshallah, to pass through that channel the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, the knowledge of Islam. The whole idea of upraising the children starts from before the marriage even. Before the marriage, selection of the spouse. So here today inshallah we are going to talk briefly about how selection of the spouse affects. Famous story we listen every year on the day of Hazrat Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam asked Aqil. Aqil was the brother of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. He asked him, "O Aqil, bring me a woman who has been begotten by brave ancestors." That means her tribe is all brave. What Imam Ali is trying to say here? Imam Ali is trying to teach us that the genes they affect, the traits they affect. This was 1,400 years before. Bring me a woman who has been begotten by brave ones. Brave ones, that means her ancestors. That means they carry inside themselves the genes of bravery, strength. These genes are important. The Aqil comes and he brings this. Imam Ali knows, but he's trying to give message to the generation. Because if Imam Ali does by himself, then nobody will know. There needs to be a scenario of hadith or narration where Aqil is the part of the narration. Imam Ali tells him. Or maybe maybe Aqil knew certain tribes, and Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasallam wanted him to go and check these certain tribes out. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasallam, after a couple of days, Aqil comes back to Imam Ali and tells him, okay, we found one. The Fatima al-Kilabiyya, she has been begotten by brave men. So when the marriage happened of Imam Ali with Fatima alayhi salam, who was born? Abul Fadl al-Abbas. Not just Abul Fadl al-Abbas. Four strong warriors. And she was called Banin, mother of the boys. Mother of the boys. These four, they all were martyred in Karbala. These four were martyred in Karbala. So this was Banin, the great woman who gave, who participated, who sacrificed all her 4 sons to defend Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. A loyal, strong, brave woman who participated in Karbala via or through her sons, 4 sons. And among them was the famous Abul Fadl al-Abbas. See, the genes affect. So that means you have to choose a woman who has certain traits, certain qualities. These qualities are going to be transmitted to your child. So you need to choose the woman, proper woman. And of course, if we look at the situation from the broader perspective, instead of talking about all these details, just know that your wife is a school. Your wife is a school. Like if your children are going to be appraised and trained and educated in this school. Al-ummu madrasatun. The mother is a school. If you prepare the school, you will prepare great noble generations after generation. Al-ummu madrasatun. The mother is a school. It is very important for us to understand that if you are going to bring a wife, then you are going to bring a school for your children. So that's why the focus should not be the beauty and all these different qualities. No, the focus should be, if you have a child and if you want your child to put him in a school, which type of school you will choose. Of course, you will not put your child into garbage, into schools, corrupted schools, immoral schools. You will try to put your child into schools which are going to make him a man, a human, an intellectual, a person who is strong. The same thing. If you want your child to be a believer, a mu'min, you have to focus in bringing this school, this mother. It's very important to choose mother. Now there are so many hadith that are mentioned about choosing a wife and all these kind of things, but we are not going to go in those details. We are going to just try to give a kind of general concept about the marriage. The marriage, how the marriage is going to happen, and then what are the things which a woman needs to look into a man, what are the things which a man needs to look into a woman, Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, or dream girl and dream boy. These are the things that we are going to explain, that if our daughter, who is the right person for our daughter? If we have a son, who is the right person, woman, for our son? So we need to see these kind of qualities. What are these qualities? What are we supposed to look for when we are looking for a husband or a wife? What are the qualities we are expecting to find in this person? It's very important. So basically, the genes, they affect. That means the quality. That means a woman, how was she appraised? Where was she appraised? What is her family background? All these kind of things, they have an effect on the child. It is mentioned in the hadith, Al-Khal Ahadu Daji'ain. Daji'ain means two people, they sleep together. Two people, they sleep together, it's a metaphor. That means when these two people, they sleep together, they beget a progeny. When the progeny comes in, what happens? This child has certain qualities. So the hadith says that maternal uncle is one of those who are sleeping. That doesn't mean that maternal uncle sleeps with the husband. Of course not. No, it's a metaphor that the traits which are being passed from the father, from the other side, the traits are being passed from the maternal side. That means maternal uncle, he is carrying the traits. These traits are being transferred through the mother. So both are. So the child takes half from this side, half from this side. Subhanallah, this is 1,400 years before said. Nobody knew this before. Now just genetic science, they proved the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ and the hadith of Ahlul Bayt ﷺ, especially the hadith of Aqil and Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib ﷺ we mentioned. Imam Ali 1,400 years ago, or before 1,400 years, he gave the application of the theory of genetic breeding. Like when genetic breeding happens, stronger generation comes out. Because traits from different families, they get blended and new generation comes out with new traits, with different qualities. So this is very important. So when choosing the spouse, we need to try to find out that this spouse is suitable for my children or not. Because you are going to, your lust is going to go away, you're going to be busy, or maybe it will not go away, but you have this certain desires. You should not get your wife to just fulfill your desires. You should focus on how my children are going to be appraised in my house. Because as we are going to mention, that when we are going to mention the responsibilities of husband and wife, the responsibility of the mother is, or the wife is, to take care of the children. The responsibility of the father is to take care of the feeding the child, food and shelter and clothing. The father takes the external needs, the mother takes the internal needs. The mother feeds them also, but feeds them with moral, with religion, with akhlaq, with behavior, all these kind of things. So mother also feeds the child, father also feeds the child. The feeding of the mother is internal, the feeding of the father is external. So based on that, if you want your child from inside to be a strong person, then you have to find a proper person who's going to inject beautiful qualities, nice qualities inside your child. This is very important issue. So basically, the marriage is very important. And if you want a nice progeny, you will have to start looking from, not from after the marriage, before the marriage. Selection of the spouse is very important. تَخَيَّرُوا لِنُطَفِكُمْ فَإِنَّ الْعِرْقَ دَسَّاسٌ. Choose, select. Don't just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I want that girl because I like her, or istikhara came good. No. Don't just rely on istikhara. Many people, they say istikhara, oh, this is good, this is bad, that's it. No. Look into the qualities. Maybe you have two women, istikhara is good. So now you need to look into the qualities. Which one has better qualities? There is certain responsibility which is lying on our shoulder to select proper women. Ask about her. Ask about her character. Ask about her nature. Ask. You have the right to ask. In Islam, you have all the right to ask and to find out every single thing about that woman. And if you are a woman, you have the right to ask every single thing about that man. Ask about his character, ask about his nature, ask about everything, his religion. You both have the right to ask. This is your legal right. In Islam, you need to know each other before it's too late. You need to know each other. Why? Because then we'll play, oh, Islam puts hijab and Islam puts hijab on the woman, and how can we know, Well, Islam tells you that if you are really planning to get married and you need to look at the wife, you have the right to look at her, in some of the narrations, behind thin cloth. Behind thin cloth, that you can look at her body, you can tell her to walk, you can see how the beauty, because mainly, as we are going to talk, women mostly, they look into the internal beauty. We mentioned that role is internal, to embed, to inject internal beauty into the child. But the men, they take care of external things, because usually they like external beauty, nose this thick, this thin, eyes this kind of thinness, thickness, all these kind of things. You hear from youth, no, I want a woman who has this kind of thick eye, thin eye, who has a small nose, big nose, short nose, whatever. You'll see different desires in the youth. They focus mostly on the external appearance of the woman. So that's why Islam says, okay, that's fine. We'll give you that also. You have the right to look at her behind the thin cloth, and also you have the right to look at her while walking. Maybe there are certain qualities, it might become problematic. But these are qualities. Islam understands that not everybody is mu'min in the community. Not everybody is believer in the community. So that is why Islam is trying to help out the youth how to facilitate or how to make their marriage easy. So the marriage in Islam is a very sacred, sacred relation. It brings the generation. If the both sides are compatible with each other, they have qualities, then the child which will come out from these both sides is going to be support of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. Because we said that we have, in order to support the 12th Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, we have to learn the lesson from those people who betrayed Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam, and see how we can prevent ourselves from betraying Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. So this kind of marriages are very important. And this marriage reminds us of a marriage happened on the day of Ashura. This person, his name is Wahab. This Wahab was, in some narrations, he was Christian and he reverted back to Islam. This Wahab, him, his mother and his wife. He was newly wedded. They were coming back home. While coming back home, they stopped by Karbala. They saw this huge camp of a huge army, and they saw a small camp. They asked about this situation, what's going on? They asked what's going on. They told them that this is Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. He is surrounded by the army of Yazid. Here, the mother of Wahab, she knew Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam when Imam Husayn was child. So she felt passionate towards Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam, and she said that, why? What's going on? Why these people, they want to kill Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam? So they came to the camp of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. She found out that they are willing to kill Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. She told her son that, I want you to support Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. If you don't support Imam Husayn, I will renounce you. I will denounce you. I will disown you. You are not my son anymore. So Wahab came to Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Husayn told him, Wahab, you are a newly wedded person. You have your bride. We don't want to create any problems for you and your family. Wahab said, no, my master, I want to defend you. I want to fight with you. I want to be the one of those martyrs. So Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam said, okay. They joined the caravan of Imam Husayn. They joined the camp of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. Again, Wahab, Imam Husayn tried to convince Wahab to go home and just forget about this thing. But Wahab insisted. Wahab insisted on participating in the battle of Karbala. Here, the time comes where Wahab, the wife of Wahab, tells Wahab, you know something? These people, they are rude. They are going to kill Imam Husayn alayhi salam. They are going to torture, and you know the women, they might be tortured in a serious way. So why don't you keep us with why don't you ask Imam Husayn alayhi salam to keep us with their women? So because you know these people, they are not going to hurt Zainab alayhi salatu wasalam. They are not going to hurt Kulthum. They are not going to hurt Rabab. They are not going to hurt these women, because these women are granddaughters of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there is no question that these people they are going to secure Zainab and secure all the women. So Wahab comes to Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam said that, tell your wife, her wish has been fulfilled. We are going to take her among our women, and Zainab and Kulthum are going to take care of your wife. And here Wahab asks permission from Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam gives Wahab permission. Wahab goes to the battlefield and he fights the enemies. And after that, Wahab was martyred. Wahab was martyred, and the many companions, they were martyred in Karbala with Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. They were supporting Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. One of the great supporters of Imam Husayn alayhi salam, was his friend of childhood, Habib ibn Mudahir. Habib ibn Mudahir is the friend of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. Habib was sitting, he was dining with his family, and while he was dining with his family, a letter comes, when Habib opens the letter, his tears started to flow. His tears started to flow from his eyes. He looks at the letter, he kisses the letter, and his wife is watching. Oh Habib, what is the problem? Why are you crying? Why are your tears flowing from your eyes? Habib says, this is the letter from my master Husayn. This is the letter from my master Husayn alayhi salam. He is surrounded by the enemies in Karbala, and he's asking us to join him. Habib says, the wife of Habib says, "Oh Habib, you go and we will come with you. If you are martyred with Imam Husayn alayhi salam, we want to be there to be with Zainab alayhi salam." At this moment, Habib says, "Oh my wife, you have to stay here because the road, the way to Kufa, the way to Karbala is dangerous." And here Habib calls his servant, "Oh my servant, take my horse into the outskirts of Kufa, places surrounding his gardens, outside of Kufa, and I'll come there and I'll mount my horse and then I'll go to Karbala to support my friend, my master Husayn alayhi salam." Here Habib's servant goes out into the outskirts of Kufa, and he's waiting in one of the gardens. He's waiting in one of the gardens, and he's talking to the horse. "Oh horse, if my master Habib does not come, I will ride you and I'll go and support my master Husayn alayhi salam." Here Habib was listening to the talk of his servant, to the communication of his servant. He heard his voice, and then he says, "Oh my servant, from today you are free." The servant started to cry, "No, my master Habib, all these days I have been serving you, and this is my opportunity to serve you, and by serving you I am serving my master Husayn. Don't free me now, don't leave me alone, take me with you to Karbala." Habib says, "Oh my servant, okay, come with me." This Habib and his servant, they both arrive in Karbala. Imam Husayn is expecting Habib. Habib was the childhood friend of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. When Habib comes, people they start to welcome Habib. Habib was known as faqih, as a scholar. He used to recite the Quran, memorize the Quran and recite the Quran every night. He was known with his level of knowledge taken from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. When Habib comes close to the tent, Zainab asks, "Who is this here? Who is this coming? Why am I hearing disturbance outside of the tents?" They said, "It is Habib." Zainab says, "Go tell Habib that the daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen, daughter of Ali ibn Abi Talib is giving you salam, O Habib." The messenger comes out and tells Habib, "Oh Habib, Master Lady Zainab, son of Imam Ali is giving you salam." Here Habib started to shed his tears. His tears came out from his eyes. He said, "Oh my goodness, why is the daughter of Imam Ali here? Why is the daughter of Imam Ali in this difficult situation? And who am I? Who am I that daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen, daughter of Imam Ali is giving salam to?" Habib started to cry. He said, "How can this worthless creature be honored by salam of the daughter of Imam Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam?" Here Habib is with Imam Husayn. There were certain events happened with Habib. Habib is now ready to go to the battlefield. He asked permission from Imam Husayn alayhi salam during the time of Salah. He said, "Insha'Allah, I will pray in the paradise with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, with Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam." Habib goes to the battlefield and fights like a great warrior. He was an elderly person, the only elderly person who fought like brave men, fought like great warrior. And here Habib is injured badly. He falls from his horse and calls Imam Husayn, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah." Imam Husayn rushes into the battlefield, holds Habib. "Oh Habib, you are a great person. You are a great person in our family." Habib was supporter of Imam Ali, supporter of Imam Hassan, and supporter of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. When Habib was martyred, Imam Husayn brought the body of Habib in beside the camp, and here the women and everybody, they started to cry and call, "Wa Habiba, Wa Habiba." Brothers and sisters, one more tragedy. On the day of Ashura, when everybody was martyred, when the enemies they came to behead the bodies, they beheaded Habib, and they tied the head of Habib to the horse, and the horse was running left and right into the battlefield, and the horse of Habib, on the head of Habib was insulted. The head of Habib was insulted, and there was a small boy running behind the horse. Oh horse, stop! Give the head of my father to me! Don't insult the head of my father! This was the son of Habib. How can a son look at his father being beheaded and his head being insulted? Wa Habiba, wa musibata, وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين والعاقبة للمتقين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Dua for the people who have requested dua. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfill the needs of all our needy ones. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all our sick ones. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve every distressed one from the mu'mineen and mu'minat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep every believer, every mu'min, and every peaceful human safe and secure from every evil and every terror and every terrorism. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the appearance of our 12th Imam soon. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us among his loyal supporters, sincere supporters. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.